They saw the place where the possible met the impossible and moved toward it. They walked for many an hour and many a day, until, finally, they crossed the edge of paradox.
Greetings, humanity, and welcome to Channel Otherdoc. I'm Jim, your friendly Lacuna GM. I use he, him pronouns, and this is our Invisible Sun campaign, The Edge of Paradox. Invisible Sun is a surreal slice-of-life game by Monte Cook Games. We're integrating the directed campaign, but most of this game happens spontaneously. We're going to go ahead and go around and say hi to everyone, see who they are and who they're playing. Today, we are starting with Wilde. Hello.
Hello, I'm Wilde, at Wilde Engineer on Twitch and Twitter, and I am playing Shantano, an itinerant empath of the Order of Apostate who splinters into fragments. They use they/them pronouns.
Excellent. And now let us head over to Arras. Hello.
Hello, I'm Arras, or Animus Panthera. My pronouns are she, they, and today I am playing Oroshka Ruzik, aromatic empath apostate who converses with everything, and her pronouns are she, her.
Excellent. And now we will head over to Anino. Hello.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Anino. I use he, him pronouns. But my character is Mac the Husk, who uses they, them pronouns. He's the established enthusiastic of the Order of the Goetica, who provides a vessel for spirits.
Awesome. And finally, we will head over to Danielle. Hello.
Hello, I am Danielle, and I use she, her pronouns, and so does my character, Vormera Vanas, who is a connected ardent of the Order of Weavers who shepherds minds.
Excellent. All right. And, we were... you'll forgive us as we're working with various audio and video things, but right now everything seems to be working as our desires warrant. So it seems to be going. We seem to be going okay. But let's see. Like we do with other games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, or hold up a card or make an X symbol, and we'll go back and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat, and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil. So it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going, we can put an O in the chat to let us know that we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or we do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much. then everyone else can respond to that again with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. We're also using the pause. If any of us needs to take some time, we can ask for a pause in the game while we discuss things, or just take a break for as long as anyone needs. As a reminder, just a few content warnings. This game may contain body horror, surreal imagery, spiders, snakes, and references to memory loss, death, and existential crises. Do I have this set up for the bot? I do. At any time, you can type !ISCW to see that, and I'll make sure I get that back into the rotation so that it'll pop up every now and then whilst we are doing this. Also, please remember that we have an open door policy, which means any of us and any of you can feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It's just a game, and mental health is always more important. And now, I must type in the magic words command ISCW, and then that will pop up every now and then. Good, there it is. Okay. So, unfortunately, Djinnaya could not be with us this evening as she is off in the real world doing things, which is awesome because I remember the real world. I was there once, I think, briefly, at some time in my life, and it's cool. It's cool when one gets to see it. But let's see. So last time, there was an ice leopard. Once upon a time, there was an ice leopard, and that was summoned by Mac the Husk. Mac just basically asked the ice leopard, whose name is Evelise, to basically help them in getting these. Now that they have the names of the people in whom the royal brood of the Insidious were planted, these suggestions planted in these people in the town of Yestervale, where they are currently staying, way far to the south of their normal place in Santorini. Evelise was to help hunt down these suggestions and help remove them from the minds of those who had them, and that would, at least for the time being, would take out the Insidious, keep them from the area for like a year and a day, according to the lore. So this is what they did. They basically Evelise bounded down the stairs into the hotel, where the proprietor of the hotel, owner and proprietor of the hotel, Goodman Grodin, was standing, clutching his finger, yelling because he had just been bitten by their guest book. We're not sure how that happened. It's just magically somehow grew a mouth. And Aroshka, who was standing there, was incredibly surprised, to all appearances, that it had happened.
Extremely concerned.
Yes. Great concern for this poor individual who had just been bitten horribly by a mouth that had suddenly appeared on the book. Just a mere coincidence that Aroshka happened to grab and turn the page just to look at the previous page when that happened. But the injury was, as it turned out, not horrible. They managed to stop the bleeding, and Grodin was completely convinced that his guests had nothing to do with it directly, so they, after a few strange, uncomfortable moments, and the ice leopard, who is only visible to Mac, standing up on the counter and getting the scent of the suggestion that it was planted in Grodin's head. They went on a little tour that Grodin was giving them at dusk to check out this, a little bit of the town, and they started right next door at the blacksmith shop because Grodin is also the town blacksmith. So Grodin and Shah talked shop for a bit. Ivelisse explained to Mac that one of the Insidious, the one that was attached to that had laid that suggestion, was in the corner of that building underneath a pile of things, but Ivelisse was hesitant to go in because fire. So the party went in. They went into the building, looked around, saw that they managed to identify after a little bit. Roshka talked to this dagger that Grodin had been making for some reason that he couldn't remember why it was, then they spotted on the far wall behind where Shantanu was standing one of these Insidious crawling up the wall. It's sort of a millipede, centipede type. Millipede? I can't remember which. A many-legged creature crawling up the wall behind them, but also pervading shadow. Mac grabbed the knife and threw it, and managed to slay the beast immediately. Just sort of impaled it against the wall. Grodin was starting to do something. He was grabbing a poker, getting ready to perhaps attack, when then Shah knocked him out. And Grodin was unconscious. He was dragged. Mac dragged Grodin outside, where Ivelisse then performed a little bit of surgery. The difficulty, of course, with that, if you call it a difficulty, being that Ivelisse is a leopard. So it was spiritual surgery, sort of. It wasn't physical. Managed to do that thing in sort of the manner of a cat putting their paw under a door, grabbing something. Eventually managed to pull out the suggestion and then smashed it. And so we had Grodin lying unconscious. Shah has... I have received instructions that Shah is going to go and investigate something. And so will not be available for the... it will not necessarily fade into the gray, but will not be immediately around during this session. But night is falling.
Did she take the knife with her?
I think
she said she was.
Yeah, I think she said she wanted to do a thing if time was passing. So I don't know.
I think she said she was going to go look for supplies, but shouldn't say if she was going to bring the knife.
I think we can say that the knife is currently available to you. If you wish to still hold on to it for right now, it just doesn't have a hilt right now.
And yet he threw it. He will try to. He's actually going to look around for a cloth, and he's going to put a cloth up on the Insidious as he is trying to pull the knife out of the wall.
Yeah, sort of like. I will say, Shantanu, that one other little bit of analysis you managed to get as you've been thinking about this, as you were sitting there sort of watching the thing's death throes. There was sort of this spiritual keening that it was letting out, and it's dead now, but that keening is still sort of reverberating. So you would not be surprised if all of the Insidious in the town probably heard that. And again, this was something you were specifically looking for, so it's a subtle thing if you're not looking for it. But in any case, you sort of managed to pull the knife out of the wall, and with the corpse of the Insidious is still there under the cloth. So what are we doing?
Did the mushrooms want these things alive or dead?
One.
They wanted one alive.
Yeah, they wanted alive.
Just out of curiosity, how many do you think 3 dead would equal? Do you think 3 dead would equal 1 live one?
I don't think it's the same.
I think they wanted to like interrogate them.
All right, well,
Kill one and bring it back to life. Does that count?
Can you do that?
Yeah, does anybody have the ability to bring it back to life?
I'm sure there's someone who can bring it back to life.
That seems like more trouble than just catching another one.
Oh, hey.
right.
Hey, Akai,
It
thanks
seems
for
a-
raiding. Thanks for the raid.
Raiders.
Besides, raising someone from the dead seems kind of like something from fiction.
Well, we could ask the angels. They seem to tend to know about those kinds of things.
I'm going to turn my volume up just a hair because it seems to have gone down for whatever reason. My audio here. Because I can't... I was wondering why I was having trouble hearing everybody. And then I looked back down in my headphone settings and it's set to like 32%. And I did not understand. That's probably going to be better.
Right. Well, do we need to dispose of these things? Do you think just leaving one out here is going to become toxic?
I feel like, at the very least, probably it's rude to leave a dead thing just sort of in this guy's workshop.
Take it outside, at least.
Yeah. You don't think we should just throw it in the fire over there?
Well, that would work too. Yeah, I suppose.
Did anyone else hear it scream?
I
No.
thought only the guy screamed here. Goodman. Grodin.
To be clear, I didn't hear anything. I arrived after it died.
Yes, that's true. Vora's just sort of faded it. Everyone just sort of looks around and suddenly Vora's here.
Yeah.
Like we're having a discussion and then then Vor just pops in and sipping her champagne,
Yeah.
listening as if she never left.
It's like sitting on like an anvil or something with your champagne glass.
We're like, look, we killed one and we made a new friend, and I point to the knife.
That seems like that tracks for us.
Well,
And I heard
you'll see
pretty
Mac
loud
just toss the insidious body into the forge fire. And he starts cleaning off the knife a little bit. And then he looks at the handle and he says, well, can't really use it very well without a hilt. And so he's just going to look and he's going to pick up some duct tape and duct tape around the tang.
Magical duct tape.
I mean, I heard a loud scream when I was looking at it. Wouldn't be
Seems
surprised
concerning.
if someone else did too.
Oh, you're thinking that the others might have heard it. Yeah, that probably
Maybe.
tracks.
Maybe we should leave, since we don't
Or-
currently have a plan to catch any of these things.
We wait for them to come and capture them as they come in.
How are we gonna? Did we ever decide how to capture them?
Well, all we need is for Shaw to break out a cage and... Right.
I shall left.
Oh, we traded this time.
Shaw is off looking for materials right now.
Well,
So that's all we know right now.
For our
they're
new friend, the
like
knife.
mind bugs, right? So maybe Vor can like challenge it on like some weird mental plane and, you know, knock it unconscious or something.
The Insidious. I mean,
Yeah.
well, we were gonna try something along those lines. I think.
Were we? I thought the plan was that we were going to figure out what to do with the cultist person in Shaw's cage and then use that.
I thought we were gonna try to expel the Insidious from the royal brood from the people.
Yeah.
Using
Well,
Yeah,
Shaw's-
unfortunately,
Step one.
well, I killed one. Kind of my bad. And But we don't have access to Shaw's handy-dandy cages, so I think we're just going to have to be creative. And Mac is going to drag Goodman back inside the forge.
Okay.
Just because I know that the Evilise didn't want to come in, so.
So we were only out here for Evilise, not like that we thought we should be out of the forge.
Yeah, because what Mac did was he dragged the body out for Evilise to do her thing.
Yeah.
Well, there are at least two more out there. One's got the mayor, and then the other one's got the librarian. Was it the librarian?
Yeah, the mayor was really weird.
The mayor and good person Che?
Che.
Is that a person we met?
I don't think you met them, but that's yeah. But good person Che was talked about by Abel, who you had brunch with.
Right.
And is basically Abel is staying at good person Che's house.
Well, Mac is going to slide his insidious knife up his sleeve. Well, I feel like we should take care of these things before Baylock comes tomorrow.
That's a good point.
We could go visit the mayor again and say that we forgot something at her house.
Yeah, and
Or something.
then I could try to extract it if you create a distraction.
Very good at creating distractions, but they tend to be a little destructive.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
Yeah, you got this.
All right.
What's the worst that could happen?
Lots of things. But you know what could also happen? Brunch. So,
Yeah.
right. Well, things aren't going to capture themselves. So, he'll grab a lantern from.
Yeah, there are plenty hanging around here.
Yeah, he'll grab one, lift it up, and says, "All right. So, which way do we go to the mayor's house?"
I guess I will start walking in that direction then.
I'll follow. Vor's busy rifling through all the best way to do this in her head. And by that I mean I'm going through my aggregates trying to figure out what the best thing to do is.
Oh, not a big deal, but I think the mayor may have tried to kill me at some point.
Not a
Really?
big deal? Just casually?
Yeah, just, a cup of tea.
Why didn't you say this before?
I didn't know if it was relevant.
Oh, is that why murder was there?
Possibly.
Okay, well, we'd be a little more careful, I guess.
If we require distraction, I have 2 ephemera that one babbles and one screams.
Oh
So-
God,
Perfect.
that's ideal.
One of them specifically says these devices are often used by thieves and others as distractions.
Mac is
we're-
going to, while Mac is running, he's going to instruct Evilise to go and scout out ahead. And he's going to summon Sagan, his familiar.
Yes. That happens very almost immediately. Let me actually before I proceed, I'm going to draw a card since we're on the move again. Since it's the same evening and I'm trying to keep consistent here, right now, although I'm not going to fill up it was over half full, so I'm not going to fill up the Path of Suns again. But we've got we're going to have like 3 more cards before it flips over. So I'm just going to do it manually. Manually, and by manually I mean still using the app. But this card, imagine if you will that this is going on the next to the last spot on the path itself, which in fact let me look at my map of the actuality once again. The red sun, in the red sun spot is where this particular card is going. This is card number 20. This is the inevitable cataclysm. I wanted to figure out how the walk between here and the mayor's place was going to go. And so I thought, I'll draw a card and we'll see what happens.
Oh, no.
It really describes the whole game. That's us, the inevitable cataclysm.
I mean, yeah. That's fair. But because we still have that one card that was on the Invisible Sun, everyone still is at +1 right now. Unless you have a heart associated with visions, in which case it is a +2. But this new card, the inevitable cataclysm, on top of that, let's see. While we fear the cataclysm, it is inevitable. We cannot prevent it. The end comes for all things eventually, and we cannot stop it. The earth quakes, the seas advance, the sky falls. Fire engulfs everything. We can try to survive it, but that's likely the best we can hope for. An optimist might try to say that a cataclysm can be cleansing and change things for the better. But the inevitable cataclysm really isn't about that. It's about endings. In divination, it's difficult to see this card turn as a positive one. This card turned as a positive one. Typically, even if it suggests that something unwanted comes to an end, it is usually a violent and costly one. This card might just be seen as ill fortune, but it could also be the end of a relationship, the end of an ongoing success, or that a significant possession, like a house, might be in danger of destruction. Okay.
I've done that before.
That's great. This is a gold card. Gold is up, silver is down, which means that I'll switch us over to the gold sun real quick on our display. There we go. And yeah, okay. So let's see. I just have to grab this one thing also where I get the rules reference in front of me so that I will remember how terrible things happen.
Do you?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt, just in case. And
so with the cards, do all those things under the value, does that have any meaning to what's going on right now? Or?
The numbers on the card, or is what you're talking?
Which is like vision, swans, blades, water, all that.
When a card goes, well, it's sometimes when a card generally, in most cases, it's the color of the card will increase the spell level by 1, or reduce the cost by 1, depending, whichever one you kind of want to do with that. And the diminished suns was reduced by 1, cost increased by 1. And that's Yeah, it doesn't really affect the stuff that you're tied to usually, unless it's like the thing with your heart matching the family, and all of that is only comes into play with the sovereign, the nemesis, the defender, and apprentice of each of the families. So while this is in the Visions family, it's more of a thematic thing at the moment than anything mechanical. Provided my memory is correct, that's what I recall that was present. But I believe that is correct. But that said, the card that's currently on the Invisible Sun is still of the Vision. Was I believe a sovereign of the Visions family, and so that means that's why everyone is getting, because it's a sovereign, everyone's getting +1, and because it's and anyone with the Visions family gets a +2 instead, basically, to their actions, until we get a new card on the Invisible Sun, which will happen in a couple of draws. So that bonus is almost at an end. But that said, you will note, everyone will kind of note, I think, as you're heading through town, you're heading sort of in a south-southeasterly direction. According to the map of Yestervale, you sort of you kind of can head south from Mist Maids to an intersecting street and come around and then take another right, and then you're at the square, and take a left out of the square and you eventually hit the mayor's house. That's probably the most direct route. As you're doing that, you get onto the street that's sort of one block north of the square. For those of us looking at the map, which is up in Roll20, let me actually go ahead and throw the map on again for folks so they will see what I am talking about. Provided I can find the thing. Handouts. There it is. There it is. Yes. So the square, or what I'm calling the square, is in the middle of town. It's right in it's that little sort of circular area to the left of the mayor's house and to the right of Bristol's house. And there's that little street that runs just above it. And you hit the intersection with that street, so you're very close to the square. When you're going to notice by this point that it seems as though as you're approaching that street, there are people sort of still going about their business in the evening. They are sort of, things are winding down. People are heading home, or a lot of people have already headed home. There are a lot of houses with lights on in them, but there are a few people out, still kind of. They already had started lighting the lamps, but sort of finishing up things like that, various evening tasks, and you can see that there are probably, I'd say that there are going to be a few people just sort of, they're watching you as you are passing by, very, very cautiously, even more so than before. And it appears, as you sort of see this kind of up ahead as you're turning the corner from the square, you see there is rather a significant group of these individuals who appear to be carrying a number of farming implements, who are heading toward you. They're heading from the square north, as though perhaps they were going to head toward the north end of town, where Mistmaids is located. They're carrying lanterns, and they're carrying various things, hose and brooms, hayforks, various tools. And this is just as you are coming around the corner, so you realize that they are perhaps in a few seconds going to spot you. This is kind of, yeah, this is true. You sent someone to scout. And also, I should point out, yes, that Mac has just summoned Sagan, so you are kind of in the process. Sagan has appeared on your shoulder at this point, so Sagan is there. But this is sort of, as you see, this is a point where Evilise is kind of turned back around, as you see this sort of coming back up. It's like, there are several who appear to be under the influence of some suggestions heading this way.
Oh. Yeah, that's not good. We should take a less direct approach to the mayor's house.
Detour?
Yeah, I think we need a detour.
Right? Or do we want to try to...
Well, we shouldn't split up. But,
No, I wasn't going to suggest that. I mean, maybe, is there a way for us to sneak past them? Does anybody have something good for that?
I think it just works for me though. I don't know if I can. I don't know if it works for everyone else, but I know I can definitely get through.
So is there an alley that they're not going to pass?
Yeah, you can look around for one if you want. You have just a few seconds, so you're if you want to look to try to find an alley to get into to conceal yourself before they spot you. That is a thing you can attempt to do. Let me look at the. Let me gaze upon the this information I have on the residents.
So I'm sorry, I just pulled up the map. So we were going from Grodin and Faraday's house to Mistmaids, or to the
You
mayor's
were so here's where you were headed. You were headed from Mistmaids down to where the mayor's office is, and you were just hitting that intersecting street that's a slightly bigger one before you hit the square. So the one that goes east-west ish.
Okay.
Is there a way for me to make my individual or self spells that are cast on myself affect everyone in the group?
Now, I suspect there may be a secret that does it, but if you want to try to do it on the fly, we can certainly make an attempt. It's probably not going to be easy. What is the normal? Let's see. Normal. What level spell is that typically?
Level 3.
Level 3, and you want to encompass yourself, Aroshka, Mac, and Vor, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, my thought, just off the top of my head, is that's going to kick the the difficulty of doing this, and this is probably something that's going to require a roll, up to 6. So that is an option. They're getting closer. Also, while you have been contemplating this, and you can hear that there's some sort of muttering, and they're angrily. Sometimes they're like that's and you're hearing just occasionally as one of the voices will rise occasionally above the crowd. It's like brunch. It's indecent.
Oh, the brunch crusades have begun.
Oh no.
Way of life. Blah, 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 blah.
It's just a late breakfast, really.
Disrupt. Blah, 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 blah.
I think Mac is going to just motion everyone to follow him, and he's just going to duck into that cluster of houses, like those alleyways back there, and hope that they pass.
All right. So, in an effort to elude this angry mob, I'm going to say that he says, plucking something out of the air here. I'm going to give that similarly a difficulty of 6, a challenge of 6, as there are many. But what do you want to throw at this? And remember, you already still at least have a +1.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm looking at all of my skills and all of my spells, and I don't have anything that will help this. I think the best thing that I can do is throw down 1 point of intellect behind it.
Okay. So we've got it down to 4 at this point.
4 or 5? You said 6, right?
Well, at 6, you get 1 for your +1.
Oh, okay.
And then you get 1 for your point of intellect, so that brings it down to a 4.
Are there any, it was close to nighttime, right? Is it dark, or are there any street lamps?
Yeah, there are street lamps. It is night. The indigo sun has set.
Can I politely ask the street lamps near us to dim a little? I don't want them to go out because I feel like that's suspicious, but just be like, can you make it a little darker over here?
You established a rapport with the street lamps earlier.
This is true.
This does go against their chosen task, so they're
just temporarily. They're
a little concerned, but yeah, since you have previously in story established a rapport with them, we can do that, and we can use that to add to add another one to the to the venture. So that'll bring it down to 3.
Okay.
And
I think I have an idea.
I have an idea too. So, and I don't know. Feel free to say no, Jim. But adding to this, can I spend maybe a point of sorcery to weave gravity from diamond and illumination from fire to try to keep the light out of our alley?
Stand by. So, yeah, the interesting thing about Forte abilities is, I think. Hang on. I'm trying to answer a question off the top of my head, but I should actually look at the thing, just in case. Let's see. You must always pay a cost equal to the spell's level from your sorcery pool. Spells and forte abilities. You must always pay a cost equal to spell's level from your sorcery pool. May also spend one additional. Forte abilities also require you to spend sorcery equal to their level, unless stated otherwise, and are actions to activate, unless stated otherwise. Always add the sorcery or forte level to the adventure, except when casting divinations. But that was not Vor's question. What was Vor's question? Oh yes, that's right. You wanted to try to
to use a little magic to help Shantano here, basically weaving gravity and illumination from two of my aggregates to try to pull some of the light out of the alley.
Or to help Baroshka.
Yeah.
Just trying to help her. Okay, just to help the general effort here.
The general effort to keep us cloaked in this alley.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be. That doesn't seem too difficult.
I'll save mine in the event that we get caught or found.
I think I have one more idea. I think my idea is to instruct Sagan to take a corporal form.
Oh yes.
And he's going to say, Sagan, take this lamp, and I want you to fly swiftly at a human level down the street, and then dart a couple of other streets to try to lure them away from us.
You got it, boss. Yeah, I'm looking at the effects from the table. Spell woven by a weaver. Which makes you a little 10, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, yeah, we just have to figure out what the level of that is, so that we can find out how much it costs, and then that I think if you spend it on, I'll let you just add that to the initial venture, and that'll just bring it down to a 2 or better.
Yeah, whatever you think is appropriate here. I mean, I'm not trying to do like a big working or anything. I'm just trying to help.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me find that glorious table, the effects by level table. Which is apparently page 73 of the way. I really appreciate this, by the way, and I'm going to keep saying this. I appreciate that Djinnaya found us this Invisible Sun System reference document. Because, dear God. Let's see. Well, they lie. Except in cases where it lies. It lied to me. I'll find it. Here we go. I found it. I think. Here it is. Got it. Okay. So you're just trying to keep the light away from where you folks have gone. Visual illusion the size of a person is level 2. The visual illusion the size of a small area is level 3, so I think that's what we're going to go for.
Okay, so 3 sorcery?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's going to bring Max Venture down to a 2 or better. All right, it'll bring Max Venture up, and he'll need to roll a 2 or better.
Okay.
In this game, we do the math ahead of time. In this campaign, I do the math ahead of time for no apparent reason. Sorry, go ahead.
So we get a 4.
Excellent. Okay. So it works. Plus, actually, I mean, you also used Sagan. To come to think of it, I forgot to add on to that, because that'll definitely help distract them. So, yeah, you folks duck into an alley. And meanwhile, Sagan is sort of flying at these people with a lantern, you hear a lot of and just sort of happening. You hear well, I guess so. I guess they have things analogous to shotguns. It is not... Yeah. Or things of that nature. So they are... I forget if... We're going to say they have things, but I'm not sure what those things are. But you hear them going off. You hear something happening as they're trying desperately to chase around this thing that is flying at them with a light. And they are very distracted, and they start heading off in another direction after a couple minutes. You folks are they're crouched in the dark. You kind of can see the lights that they're carrying as they sort of wander back and forth, and they start as they eventually head off and they go past. So you have eluded them for now.
I think that's our opening.
Let's go. You just book it.
You plunge forth onto the street.
Just breakneck run.
Heading still for the mayor's house?
Yes.
Okay. I shall draw another card.
Frost.
This card shall go in the gold spot. It is a red card. Let me go ahead and... Let's take a look and see what it is. This is card number 19. Wait, must change sun. Must turn sun red. There we go. Screw you, Kryptonians. The sun is red now. Savage Sword. The Savage Sword is,
Oh, come on.
where we are.
What are you doing to us cards?
They're not kind tonight.
The sword is a weapon of war, a metaphor for any kind of weapon one might wield. The savage sword is our basest nature, our predilection toward violence, and our shameful bloodlust. But it is also our strength to overcome obstacles and foes when we need to. It is the opposite of thought, strategy, or consideration. It is immediate and decisive, without hesitation or regard for consequence. The savage sword is the opposite of the revealing knife in most respects. In divination, some kind of conflict is imminent.
Oh, no.
Almost certainly blood will be shed. But this can go either way. It might be a danger to the person in question, or it might be a recommendation that they must use violence or brute force to succeed. This card turn can also indicate strength, or even a specific individual who is known for their physical prowess.
Who might that be?
I have no idea. No, it could be anyone.
The stretch of cards is terrible. It's also very us.
That thing about without regard for consequences, I was like, oh, this is our card.
I know, I thought the same thing. I was like, wow, we're getting roasted.
Fair. Do. Time to pull up stats. Dee. There we go. All right. Well, this will be interesting. You reach the mayor's house. You see that the lights appear to be dim coming from the mayor's house. It is once again there. Its pillars glaring down at you balefully. The bricks of the house are clearly very, very closed off and upset right now. They're not the various parts of the house are sort of, their mood is very dour. This is mostly for Aroshka. I don't know if but,
I relay this to everyone else. The house seems really unhappy.
The Evilise is sort of approaching the house cautiously, just sort of sniffing around on the outside. And it's a spirit, so I'm just going to presume it it can discorporate and go through the wall. And they will come back out. If you're, well, it depends. Do you want to wait? Do you want to hang around and wait for Evilise to come back, or do you want to do something?
I feel like we should know what's going on.
Yeah.
I think maybe we need to split up to go in through the front, to go in through the back.
Okay.
Are we not gonna wait and see?
We'll wait to see what Evilise sees.
I'll send you a message when Evilise gets back to me.
Okay. So we're just gonna charge in then.
I don't think we're charging in. We should go in quietly.
I meant more so in the sense of not really knowing what's going on in there.
No. Well, I'm going to wait for Evilise. And when Evilise comes out, I'll send a psychic missive to you guys.
And then we go in.
And then we go in.
I mean,
Okay.
if you're worried, I could always try and see if I can find out what's on the other side of the door before we go in.
Okay. Well, Evilise will meet me out here by the front door, so then maybe you and Vor should go in through the back, since you can scout for Vor.
Okay. So Aroshka and Mac through the front, Jon Snow and I through the back. All right. Good luck. I think Vor starts heading around to the back of the house. And just to be clear here, before like Vor starts heading around and then comes back around the corner. Just to be clear, the goal here is to extract the idea from the mayor's head, right? The royal brood.
And
So
if we can find the bug to catch it.
catch the bug and extract the idea. The bug and the idea are actually separate things.
Right. We need to do both.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Just making sure. All right. I think I can take care of the idea part.
I still don't know how we're going to capture this thing. Mac just mutters that while he's waiting for Evilise. Without killing it. I mean, I can kill it. It's just...
Yeah, but we don't want to. We need to not do that.
Can you remind me again what level we said
Well,
Evilise
that's one
was?
Knife friend.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We'll say that Mac can summon up to level 7, I believe. But I think Evilise was closer to 4.
Yeah. You also have your knife friend, as Arushka has reminded you.
Yes, but
Evilise will come out of the front area, and will approach, and they will say, there is a human within who is armed with some sort of projectile weapon, and I am smelling 3 of these Insidious in there. I think there are 3, they seem to be. There's something else in there as well that I cannot fully comprehend. It is... I'm
did
not
it
sure.
did it feel fatal?
Somewhat, yes. It felt definite. It is... lounging in the kitchen.
I'm going to have to ask you, you think you can capture one of those Insidious alive?
Alive. I can attempt it.
Maybe... Can it still use its powers if you just cut its legs off?
Oh, that would likely be right. It would likely be in great agony at that point. I don't know. I tried to capture one of them, but it was too fast for me. Well, fast is perhaps not the right term. It was too able to use its environment, keep out of sight, get around things. I was not able to corner it.
Okay. Was it using the shadows to get around? Because then if we try to shine as much light in there as we can, it'll probably eliminate their options.
Yes, very much clinging to the shadows.
Okay. All right. And Mac is going to cast his psychic missive spell to relay the information to Vor.
Okay.
It rings in Vor's head like that AOL ding. You've got mail.
I got mail. So you're saying it's hiding in the shadows, or it's clinging to the shadows.
So there are 3. We need to be careful of the shadows. There's a weird guest in the kitchen that is just hanging out there, which you'll probably run into first. I think that Mac is going to try to go in and draw attention to himself, so that the 2 of you coming in through the kitchen or the back will be able to flank and surprise them.
Okay. I'll share what I got from the missive with Shantano, and then say, I'm going to go for the mayor first. Is there anything you think you could do about protecting us from whatever's in the shadows?
I am very low on sorcery points right now.
We get a refresh at some point.
There
When do
is-
refreshes happen?
Yeah, there's a thing you can do. There's a thing.
You have you get 2 1-action recoveries per day,
Yeah.
in addition to a 10-minute and a 1 hour. So if you've not used any of your recoveries, you can recover 1 pool.
Yeah.
I would reset it back to 0.
It resets it back to maximum. So you pick one pool and it goes back to max.
Yes, I still have all my recovery left. So.
I had to use one earlier today for Vor to get her sorcery points back after she flubbed that idea theft earlier.
Try to do that. I guess it depends on what it is. I can always try.
Like I said, we need to be careful of something in the shadows, and I don't know how long it's going to take me to get this idea.
I could try and see if I can figure out what's in the shadows before we enter.
That might be a good idea. The more we know.
So I guess because the kitchen's in the back, right?
Yes. Yeah, you're in the back. There's a back door. There is a window, and there is a very low light flickering.
So I'm going to go up to the door and use cryptothesia. Chat.
So, what are we using here?
Cryptothesia. It's level 2 with 1 die. It's indigo divination.
Excellent. You can see beyond a wall, door, other barrier that I touch as long as it touches it. Okay. Yeah, there's not going to be any resistance to this because there's no one has set up. There's no like magical resistance or anything to this, so I don't think it's going to be necessary to roll to see what's on the other side of the door. You might end up rolling depending on how we end up swinging this in one direction or another. But we'll start talking and we'll see what happens. So you can just do it. But you may have to spend whatever you have to spend to do it. But if you look beyond the door, you sort of stand at the door and you're looking beyond the door. You're seeing into the kitchen, and you see that in the kitchen there is not a lot of light. As you're touching the door, but you can make out there's the sink, sort of a big basin, pots and pans hanging from a rack. Near the window, there's a little light coming in through the window. There's like a candle at this point that's lit in the kitchen, very low light, but that's about it. On a table across from the table, way on the other side, there's a stove. And there are cabinets and a countertop, and there is a cowled figure dangling its legs off the edge of the countertop, sitting sort of on it, just kind of sort of swaying back and forth. It's murder. You're pretty sure you recognize the outline. You can't see them very well, but you know who it is. And they just sort of perk up for a second, and they look, because they're very sensitive to things. They perk up for a moment, and they're looking directly they're looking right at you, basically, through the door.
No wave through the door.
So when we asked if Shantano could distract the person in the shadows, the answer is probably yes.
Waves a clawed hand at you.
And we should be fine going in. I don't expect.
Sure.
I mean, it might affect our brunch plans otherwise, but
Okay, I trust you, Shantanu. Okay, so the shadows aren't good. Okay.
I will reiterate my offer to use one of my ephemera to make a noisy type distraction.
That is entirely up to you and Mac.
Let me go in first.
Okay.
And then if they look like they're about to converge on me, which they probably will, then you can use your distraction.
Okay.
And Mac is going to test the doorknob really quick. Is it unlocked?
So,
It probably can be if I ask it to.
I mean,
I was thinking before I tried to kick the door down.
yeah. So I will specify also, as I'm just going back and making sure that I'm making everything absolutely clear. For Shantanu, everything that you saw in the kitchen was shrouded in shadow, so you couldn't see very well anything that was in there, aside from the table with the candle on it. That's kind of near the doorway. So I did want to point that out. But that's it. So there are a lot of shadows in that, and the candle might be the only thing that's the only source of light in that house right now, possibly. Now, the front door is locked.
Okay. Oroshka, can you do your thing on this door?
Probably. Because I was going to say I have charm object, so even if I hadn't already made friends with them earlier, I could charm them. So I'm going to politely ask the door if we can come in.
All right. So the door is like, oh, hello. It's you again.
Yeah, we need to get in again.
And so this is once again for those just joining us. This is Oroshka is now speaking to a metal door knocker. Did I say it was a silver door knocker? I can't remember, but it's like a boar's head.
I don't remember.
But the reality shifts a little bit from session to session. So the door knocker says, "Oh yes, what's your you have business with the mayor this evening?"
You could say
we
that,
we think she might be in trouble.
Ah, I see. Interesting. Now she seems to be holding up inside. She's very concerned about something. A number of citizens being stirred up about they're out in the square there, just getting rather concerned about something involving this new people coming into town, changing things, and it's representing a danger of some kind. I really wasn't paying that much attention, so I'm not entirely certain what it was that they were nattering on about. But
No idea.
she did give rather the indication that she was coming in and probably did not wish to be disturbed. It's you see, it's something that you think is a threat. You say.
Oh yes. Yes, and we think it's the house with her right now. So we were hoping to go in and get it.
Nothing threatening's passed through here. Has passed through me this evening.
It's like a magic-y thing. It needs doors.
Ah, magic.
It's terrible business.
I mean, technically, Roshka's the only one who can hear it right now, but I just love the idea that it's possible that somehow.
Could be relaying what the doorknob is saying.
Could be, totally.
No inherent reason why I couldn't.
Yes, magic is a terrible business. Yes, it's very unfortunate.
Or Matt could just be picking stuff up from things that I said in the door context with one-sided conversation.
You hang out with Oroshka long enough, and you start to hear weird things. It's just how it works. But
I did apparently accidentally infect my ex-girlfriend with it.
yeah, I mean, she has it now too. Yeah, so it's I see. So there's a magical thing inside, you say. So I think that there is
shadow creature.
Yeah, there is some. Yeah, there. So like, there's going to be some convincing that needs to happen here, but it's not going to be as difficult as it would have been if you hadn't already established a rapport with this door knocker. It's so I'm going to say that the difficulty, the challenge rating, the challenge is 3. And it's even only 3 just because the mayor seemed to be very adamant about closing herself in.
I do have 1 level in persuasion.
Okay, we're good. Yeah, okay, so that'd bring it down to a 2. Do her better.
Okay.
Depends if you want to do anything else, but that's up to you.
Sorry. The best.
Okay, so that's a 0. You're not using magic, so there's no flux involved.
That's good.
And the door
made that decision.
So the door knocker is like, I don't know. I understand. It seems as if there's a threat of that kind. I certainly don't want the mayor to be imperiled, but I'd be rather of the opinion she seems to know what she's doing. I don't. It's not really my place to just decide who gets in and who doesn't.
I'm gonna back away for a second and I'm talking to Mac and whispering so that the door knocker doesn't hear, and I'm gonna kind of be like, pretend you're gonna kick it down, and I'm gonna pretend to be trying to stop you.
Okay, hang on. Let me just check something. Did we just lose the... No, they're still there. Okay, I thought we lost the captions for a second. But yes, so the door doesn't seem inclined to want to let you in at this point. It's very concerned, and is basically saying to you, I think perhaps you should call in the morning. I appreciate your concern, but at the same time, it is not really my place to allow to say who gets in and who doesn't.
So is he refusing to unlock?
He is refusing to unlock.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess it's plan B. And Mac is going to stand up straight, crack his neck, and he is going to kick the door down.
So this is still kind of basically would be level 3 as or this would be and so I presume you have enough to overcome that, but out of curiosity, what are you throwing at this?
I am throwing physicality, of course.
Okay.
And a skill called breaking objects.
Okay, so that's
breaking object. That was a handy skill.
So that'd take it down.
I have never used this skill.
So that'd take it down to ordinarily 1 or better, and then the +1 that everyone still currently enjoys means you can just do it.
I forgot that. Oh well.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You still rolled a 0, so that still isn't going to do it. But unfortunately, but yeah. There's that other thing. Yeah, you
I realize that as he's doing this in such a way that it looks like it's a actual home invasion.
That's
because
fair.
It is a home invasion.
It is in fact a home invasion. You kick the door open.
That is actually what we're doing.
The door knocker is...
It's for your own good, though.
Yeah. Door knocker.
Benevolent home invasion.
Yes, that's right.
We're trying to save you, actually.
Door smashes open. You,
This is for your own good.
yeah. Door knocker's like, my word! The door knocker is very upset.
So confused, they apologize to the door knocker and be like, I was trying to stop you from doing that.
And the door has flown open, and you going inside?
Yes. Mac will draw one of his weapons and a baton / scream stick.
Excellent.
And he will walk in.
Okay. So I think the first thing that's going to happen, the people in back are waiting for the people in front to enter, right? Okay. You're here. Here's
Waiting for
what
the
happens.
sound of a very loud distraction, and then we're
Yeah,
gonna go.
yeah, it's there. So, Mac, upon walking in to this house is one of the larger houses, but at the same time is yeah. Let me see. I just have to think for a moment. Oh yeah, no. Given the card that we drew, the mayor's like going to be ready for. Okay, so. Yeah, so the there is a figure. It's very the lights are very dim in here, very dim. There's like you can see past to there's like a light. There's a candle sitting on the kitchen table way back in the back. That's probably the only light in here. The fireplace is completely out. There's very little in the way of lights. You can make out the outlines of things. You can see that there is. There's like a sofa and a couple of and a number of chairs kind of scattered about. It looks like they've been turned in kind of a defensive fashion. And from the back of the sofa the sofa apparently has been dragged out into the middle of the room, and the back of the sofa is facing you. And over the back of the sofa comes you see a lady's head, and she points her shotgun at you and is attempting to fire. So this is the mayor.
I have no complaints about this.
Yeah.
I've had this coming for about a year and a half by now. So,
So the mayor is, I believe, level 6. Let me go to the thing here.
Is it possible for me to cast one spell on myself before
going in?
Before going in?
It might be.
I'm just going to cast Flesh Mail.
You're gonna cast.
Flesh Mail gives me +1 to armor.
Oh, sure. We're playing fast and loose here as far as it goes. I'm not going to go into rounds per se unless I feel we need to. We might. I don't know. But yes. So the mayor has absolutely no skills that would help her with this. Is level 6. So this is going to be a challenge of 6.
Does do I get a +1, or does a +1 apply here for making it harder for her to shoot me?
Yes. So you have the scene +1 because we haven't flipped over another card yet.
Okay.
So you have that. So that's down to a 5.
Wait.
For you to avoid this. For you to avoid being
for
shot.
me to avoid. Okay. Yeah.
The mayor doesn't roll anything.
The mayor doesn't roll anything. So I'm rolling. I thought.
Yes. I'm sorry.
I thought the mayor was rolling to hit.
Oh no. No.
It's automatic for the mayor. They're the
That's
mayor.
right. No.
Okay.
Only the PCs roll in this game.
Oh, great. Okay. I like how I'm learning all this stuff still in this game because
Have
It's a
I
very
ever rolled a
complicated
die
game.
in the last year and a half?
Okay. So scenes +1, it's 5. I've got flesh mail, which is +1 armor for a combat encounter.
Excellent.
That's
That'll
4.
definitely help.
That's 4. I've got a skill. I've got we're gonna use. I think we're gonna use resist as opposed to dodge. Because he's got armor, so he's going to try to take the shot, but take the shot in such a way that...
Isn't withstand the physical one, or am I...
Is it?
Yeah, I thought resist was the mental one.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I have a withstand here, too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it's withstand.
Okay, so withstand. So that brings it down to a 3. And I guess we're going to have to use another physicality beam here. Okay.
Yay!
Just barely.
Yeah. So everyone here here's the shotgun going off in the living room as Mac dives out of the way.
No. We said he was going to take the shot.
That's right.
He's going to take the shot. He's going to take the shot, and he's going to jerk backwards like the T-1000. And just continue to approach her. Take the gun out of their hand.
What is our range? Like, how far away is the mayor?
So this would be, let me remember here, as it's the one after. I'm trying to think if the one after close is too far away or not. Touch, close, near. Near is the range. The range is near. Right now you're in near range with the mayor. Mac is closing to close range.
Is that farther than short range?
I'm sorry?
Is that farther than short range? It's short range.
Yeah, basically. Close means you can get to them and within a turn. Near means it will take a turn for you to get over there.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Oh, well, I was going to say, well, I want to get within short range of the mayor, and I'm going to attempt to cast. I don't know how this word is pronounced. Devilate? I subdue a being within short range, bind them with conjured coils of rope, and drain them of their will to struggle, fight, or do anything but remain still and quiet.
Oh, yeah, that'll work.
6 spell.
Yeah, you can do that. It's a level 6 spell.
It is a level 6 spell.
Okay, the mayor has, let me just check one thing real quick. The mayor has +2 to resist, which means that, any spells that you're going to cast on the mayor is going to be, you'd need an 8 or better, so that brings it down to a 2 or better. Then you also, wait a minute. Circumstances, circumstances mean that you can just do it.
Cool. Yay! The mayor is to do it then.
So you're going to leap forward and you're going to cast this spell. What does this look like?
It's literally like ropes appear out of nowhere, like magical ropes, and just like wrap around. I actually did this before too. I think I did it with someone on the train when we were fighting people on the train.
Yes, you did. I remember.
Handy spell.
Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So you are doing that. So these ropes will come out and bind the mayor. The mayor is like, ah! Drops the shotgun. Let's go to the back of the house. You've just heard this blast happen. What would you like to do?
I think I'll turn to Shantano and just be like, I think that's our cue, right? We're going in.
As well.
All right. I'm gonna try. Is the door locked back here?
So, it is. But well, yeah. So the door is locked. So you're gonna reach. Then the door is locked.
Okay.
But after a second, so you try it and the door is locked, and then after a second the door unlocks.
That's fortunate. Vor just chalks that up to her own personal luck and waltzes right in.
So, you open the door, and there's a cowled figure standing there, whom I believe you have seen before, if I recall correctly. It's been a long time, game-wise. So you saw them in the menagerie. This cowled figure is standing there, kind of smiling beatifically. Red eyes.
Not losing eye contact with Murder, because I feel like that would not be a good. I wouldn't want to turn my back on Murder. I'm gonna lean like over to Shot and be like, I think your boyfriend's here.
I don't think we've defined anything like that yet.
Your interested, maybe significant other is here.
I think at most we're future brunch companions.
Would you perhaps talk to your future brunch companion while I go around?
Yeah.
Okay. And Vor's gonna slowly start edging around Murder.
So I have a question for you.
It's gonna arrange a date for Chantal.
There are two directions in which you could edge around Murder.
Mm-hmm.
One is closer to the right, where there is where the kitchen table is.
Mm-hmm.
One and with a table with a candle on it, and then the other is around to the left, which is more where the counter and the stove and more of the open kitchen area is.
I will go around by the table where the candle is.
Okay, it's a little bit of a squeeze, but you do it.
Yep.
And Murder doesn't. Murder just sort of is follows you for a moment.
I just
like
love
that.
this image of Vor just being like.
Murder's very friendly.
Direction. We just arranged a date for Chantal.
So Vor, you move around. You are in the kitchen, and you see that as you glance to you as you look, you see the sort of the candlelight. You can see the kitchen not very well, but you can see the stove and everything in the kitchen. You look to your right through the door. You see that there is furniture has been thrown about a little bit in the mayor's living room. The mayor is now being bound by magical ropes.
Yep.
In on her sofa.
Yep.
You and I think everyone else now here in the house hears this sort of a psychic echo from upstairs. This sort of.
All right. Time to move fast. I don't think I actually have to be touching to do this, but I want to go ahead and use idea theft on the mayor to try to pull this implanted suggestion from the royal brood out of her head.
Okay. Move in, get closer.
Yeah, I'll get as close as I have to, but I don't think I actually have to touch her. And it says, I steal an idea from someone's mind. If I succeed at an action with their level is the challenge.
Okay. So the mayor is level 6.
Yep.
She has a +2 to resist, though.
Oh, shit.
So this would be level 8.
Okay, well, so the ability is level 7.
But you get +1.
And you get a +1. So you can do it.
Yay!
Oh, and I was gonna actually use my meme, my pet Nemivore.
Yes.
Because technically When I use idea theft, I get the idea, whatever it is, and they lose it. But I actually, in this circumstance, I think I just want to feed it straight to Meme.
You can do that.
If I can, just let
Sure.
Meme eat it, and then hopefully everything will be fine.
Okay, sure, absolutely. You wanna let Meme out?
Just ever so briefly. Meme is
Okay.
still on the topaz. I can funnel it into the topaz, maybe. I've used Meme.
You can try to do that. Yeah, you can try to do that.
Yeah.
So you go up to the mayor. What does this look like when you do this?
I think Vor probably walks up and kind of puts her hands on either side of the mayor's head, not quite touching, just as a sort of an aid to herself, to kind of pull the idea out. But I don't think there's anything otherwise really a visual component to this. I think it all kind of happens. The idea just sort of Vor probably gets a brief sense of what the idea is before she passes it to Meme to be consumed.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. And probably the topaz. I would imagine Vor's probably wearing it on a chain around her neck by this point. I feel like I've said that. Topaz probably gets bright for a second as Meme stirs.
You hear this suggestion as you are pulling it out. This very powerful suggestion. Kind of, I would imagine, yes. Well, did you sort of hear in your head, all Redivivus ice is to be turned over to Balak.
Of course.
No information about us shall be shared.
Mm-hmm. That tracks.
And sort of the more recently you're hearing sort of the tail end of it. You hear the outsiders are a danger. Destroy them.
Yeah.
That seems to have been added more recently.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
And you hear that for a moment, and then this little glow on the topaz around your neck, as Meme kind of will sort of begin devouring it. Meme is very hungry. Meme has not been fed in a while.
I know. As Meme is waiting, I'll be like, I promise there's more where that came from. Okay, I'll get you sorted.
And you don't really necessarily even hear. I can't remember. I need to go back and watch that episode to remember what Meme. I don't know if Meme had anything that they sounded like. It was just,
I don't know that Meme
it was
talked.
entirely visual, I think.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
I think so.
It was a sort of sepia memory hovering in midair. Just briefly, at the back of at the kitchen door, Shantano is there with Murder. Is there anything you would like to do this brief segment of time before I move on to the next brief segment of time that will happen shortly?
Probably just casual conversation. I'm like, oh, well, considering I heard the gunshot and you're still here, I guess no one was murdered. So.
And they'll invite you in.
Oh yeah. And they'll just be like, so yeah, I mean, I don't know what the rest of the night's gonna be like, but pretty sure we're all getting brunch tomorrow if you're willing to join. So.
And they turn and they actually go to, and they actually are kind of making a wide berth around the. As you're following them into the kitchen, they kind of are gonna. As you're moving in, they sort of put a hand out to kind of stop you from getting too close to the stove for whatever reason. But they're like, and then they will open the cabinet, and they'll sort of point up in there, And you'll see that in the back near the tea products, there's sort of and you can't see it very well, you can't read it very well, but they sort of pull out this box that they hold it close enough you can kind of see what it says, and it says arsenic. And they set it back where it was, and they're scratching their chin. They're like, I'm going to give you in a moment more impressions that they're going to give you as they're attempting to communicate something to you about the arsenic. Back in the living room, Mac has approached the sofa as Aroshka has done this. So you're probably Mac. Would you say it's fair to say you're the one who's closest to the sofa right now?
Yes, actually.
Excellent. Okay. So, what would you like to do?
I think Mac would first like to tug the shotgun out of the grasp of the mayor.
Yeah, well, the mayor dropped the shotgun.
All right, so he'll pick it up.
Okay. So you reach down to pick up the shotgun that has fallen close to at your feet, basically. It's right sort of where you're, right by the sofa. And this is now where the Insidious underneath the sofa is going to lash out at you.
God damn it.
You see this insectile, shadowy thing come leap forward. Once again, this is a level 6. Let's see, it's not using its stealth at this point. It just stopped using its stealth. But it's desperate.
Does it help that Mac has the special bug killing knife?
I mean, it will in a moment, but first Mac must not be infected by the Insidious, who is attempting to immediately lash out and plant a suggestion. So,
oh God,
what would you like to do?
All I can do is basically dodge it.
Yeah.
I can't attack it at the same time. I have to dodge it.
Yeah. Not for this specifically.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you that there is a point, and I'm not saying this to brag necessarily, but I am saying it because I realize that it sometimes is helpful to have meta discussions about these things. This is the point at which I feel as though a GM who is doing what they're perhaps a lot of people will think they're supposed to do would give you a despair and say they touch you and have you try to make a resist, more of a resist type roll, mental resistance. But I'm not quite that down with mind control suggestions per se.
Sure.
So I'd rather keep this. If we get to that, we will deal with that in a different way, and there will be a different kind of conflict going on. But first, I want to see if you deal with this physically. So that's why we have you dodging right now.
Okay.
I know I didn't need to explain that, but I also felt as though I needed to explain that. In any case.
All right, here we go again.
So yes, here we go again. It's level 6. What would you like to throw at it?
All right, movement bean.
Okay, and that brings it down to a 5. And again, I'm sorry, you're still at a +1, so it's down to a 4 technically.
Dodge.
Okay.
And flesh mail. I guess that's still a +1.
Yeah, we can use that here. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's gonna be 2 or better.
Okay.
A 6 is considerably better than a 2. You manage to dodge out of the way as the thing is skittering out across the floor. It was trying to touch you. You may now retaliate if you like.
Is there any is there like a chest or anything in here that?
Oh, absolutely. There are chairs, there are desks, there are cabinets.
I'm looking for something to.
There's a globe.
Trap it. I'm looking for something to trap it.
Oh, to trap it. Yeah, there are. You can find it. Yeah, you can find some. There's some like strongbox type things, boxes. There are. There are baskets. There.
Okay.
Yeah, some wooden boxes.
He's going to try to find a chest, something that has a lid that he can shut.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's going to try to see if he can kick one open.
Yeah, you can find. There's a small chest that you can run over and grab.
Yeah, he'll grab the. No, he's not. He's going to do this with a little bit more style. He's going to. He is going to grab one of the chests, flip it open, and toss it in the air. And he's going to use his stick to croquet bat the bug into the chest while it's in midair, so that when it lands, it just shuts.
Awesome. Brilliant. Okay. This is a maneuver I'm confident you can pull off.
This is a very difficult maneuver.
It is a difficult maneuver. So this is you're against a 6 because that's how hard it is to defeat this thing.
Yep.
So what would you like to use?
So, man, I am using my beans tonight. I'm going to use an accuracy bean.
Okay. And
I'm going to use,
and again, it's down to 4 because you've got a +1.
And we'll use my martial arts skill, a scream skill.
Okay.
So that's actually a 2.
Okay. So you're down to 2 or better.
Yep. God damn it.
That's a 0. So you pull it out. It's the thing is moving through the air beautifully, but I feel as though as you sort of are swinging down towards this thing, yes, you manage the chest doesn't land quite right on it. You knock the thing into the chest, but the chest doesn't land quite right, so that there's just a little second where the lid is still like flapping open for a moment before it closes, and the thing leaps out in that split second and is going to thunder toward the next nearest person, who is Eroshka.
Good.
Eroshka, there is a shadowy creature that is attempting to leap on you. What would you like to do?
Can I? Oh gosh, no, but I spent all of my. I guess. I guess I'm just gonna try to dodge it. I don't have anything to add to that other than my current plus.
So so it's ordinarily it's a challenge of 6. It's 5 because of the plus. No, wait, sorry, it's less than that because of circumstances. It's a it's a 4.
Which I'm not supposed to talk about, but it's really obvious.
I can't imagine what you mean. It's just circumstances. Right now, you need a 4 or better. What do you want to add to your venture to bring that further down?
I guess. Can I add like a movement? Bene?
Movement, Bene?
Yeah.
Is
Does
like
that make sense?
Is dodge a separate Bene, or is that a thing?
No, there's accuracy, physicality, movement, perception, and then there's interaction, intellect, sorcery, and sortilege.
Right. Yeah. No, you can spend a movement, Bene. Absolutely.
So that's
So
three.
that'd be 3 or better. Anything else you want to throw at it?
I'm not sure there's anything else I can throw at it because I kind of spent all my sorcery points.
Yeah, like unless you want to do something magical, but if you spend all your sorcery, then that kind of.
I kind of
you're
spent
out.
all my sorcery points to
Yeah.
tie up the mayor. So
Yeah, Mayor is expertly tied. That is a 2.
damn it.
So
Oh, no.
what we're gonna see happen is this being will leap forward, and it's going to latch itself onto your leg, and you will be in immediate contact with it, immediate mental contact with it. I will come back to you in a moment as we discuss what's happening. In the meantime, Vor is in the room. Vor has pulled the thing out, and Meme is eating. What are you doing now?
I mean, at this point, do I see these things starting to jump on my friends?
Yeah, something's happening on the other side of the sofa with Eroshka. You're not you can't see it, but you know something's going on with some. Maybe there's a thing. Mac just tried to do something that was on the floor, and then Eroshka's now reacting to something. So something's happening. Clearly.
All right. I don't know if this will help, but we were warned that they like the shadows, right? So
Yes.
I am going to light this room up. I mean, board the fire is kind of her shtick. So I think she just raises her hands, and I'm going to weave illumination from fire, and I'm actually going to use obstacles from challenge, because I'm basically trying to provide some kind of trying to help chase these things off and or help my friends as much as I can.
Okay.
You know, it's dark in here.
All right. So
I don't know what level you would like this to be.
you're lighting. How much do you want to light up?
I'd love to either get a really blindingly bright flash and have it be quick, or to bring the room up to the level of lighting I have in my office right now.
Ooh, okay. So let's see. Visual illusion the size of a medium area. Do you want to get the whole house, or do you just want to get the room?
I want to get the room. I'm not trying to light the whole house.
Okay.
Basically, she's going to be holding fire in her hands, I think, is what she's trying to do here.
Yeah. So we're going to call it a medium area.
Okay.
So that's going to be a level 4.
Okay. Cool.
Now,
Yes.
before you do it,
Uh-huh.
I need to slow time down for just a second
Okay.
and have a quick conversation with Eroshka.
All right.
Yay!
Woo!
This is gonna be fun.
Actually, quick question. Vor, do you
Yes?
have the, actually for
Oh.
Vor, do you have this is something, again, this is just a spell you're casting on the thing.
This is just magic, yeah.
It's a level 4. Do you have do you have enough to spend on that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, cool. So,
Before you cut to Eroshka, doesn't Evilise get a turn to move?
Evilise can do stuff, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, I just figured.
This is true. That's fair. Here's the thing, though. Evilise is level 4, and these things are level 6, so it can't do anything on their own to these, but they can do something. What would you like Evilise to be focusing on right now?
So Evilise can't actually touch it at all.
Unless it has help. It might. Well, right now, if it's struggling with Eroshka, which I think it's about to be, Evilise could probably. That would probably be enough to help Evilise get it.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to see if Evilise would be able to bounce it and knock it off of Eroshka, at least.
Yeah, I think it'll probably be able to do that in a moment.
Okay.
And when that happens, then we can do other things to it as well.
Sure.
Because it's about to the room's about to light up too, so that's also gonna affect things. But yes, absolutely. Actually, and it'll probably be tearing the thing away from Eroshka faster than the light will be coming on as well.
Okay.
So that will help. So thank you actually for pointing that out, because that's going to affect how this goes. All right, here we go. So here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
There is a suggestion of, that it's trying to implant about kind of its own immediate survival. There is this kind of protect me thing going on. Now, the interesting thing is that Eroshka has quite a complex psyche.
I was gonna say, what does evil Eroshka think about this?
That's the thing.
Uh-oh.
That I want to kind of... That's the thing I wanted to ask you about. So here's the thing. If it's like asking a question, right? Will you protect me? I'm going to presume that Eroshka would probably not want to do that.
Yeah.
What do you think evil Eroshka would say to that? Evil Eroshka. She's not evil, but,
Evil.
Yeah.
I feel like past Eroshka was very caught up in past Eroshka's own interests and nobody else's. I feel like past Eroshka was way too selfish to protect a bug unless it benefited her in some way.
So...
Mindbug's gonna have to convince the other Eroshka that she would in some way benefit from helping it, which I think might be a tall order.
It could be. I've also noticed for some reason your captions aren't coming through. I don't know why that is.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I changed.
Oh, now it is.
I changed the settings. Okay.
We mentioned it and it happened. I don't know what's happening. Okay, all right. Yeah.
I looked at it briefly. Maybe I glared it into submission.
That's probably what happened. So, Pastor Eroshka would only want this if it could in some way. Okay, all right. So, let us assume for a moment that very briefly that what does Pastor Eroshka want? Well, the Insidious doesn't know what Pastor Eroshka wants, but the Insidious...
I'm not sure current Eroshka knows what past Eroshka wants.
That's fair, but I'm also going to ask you because you are in a better position to know than I am, necessarily. So I think that what the Insidious will offer, and we'll see how this goes, what the Insidious will offer is... If you help me, I know how you can get knowledge of the unwritten.
Oh, shit. That might be a thing that Pastor Roche could want. Does Pastor Roche believe this bug, though? How actually convincing is the bug?
The bug's not terribly convincing, but at the same time, it doesn't seem to be... it doesn't seem to be lying.
Because I feel like Pastor Roche is the kind who, like, you know, was making things and doing experiments because they were interesting and didn't really care about, like, if they were dangerous or bad for the people or illegal or stuff like that. So, like, I don't know. I guess Pastor Roshka must have been interested in that.
Yeah, it's an interesting. Well, I will tell you one thing. Pastor Roshka probably knows what the unwritten are.
Oh, so probably doesn't need information because probably just already knows it.
To an extent. I mean, it's like bits of it have been driven from the mind, possibly voluntarily. We haven't decided that fully yet. But it's like, do we think that Pastor Roshka would be interested in harnessing anything about the unwritten now?
Maybe not, since it went poorly the first time.
Okay. No, that's perfectly fine. So yeah, basically you're going to kind of hear in the back of your head as this thing is trying to appeal to whoever it can in there. In the back of your head, yeah, you're kind of hearing this thing where it's like, this thing where it's kind of like, why would I even why would I try to rehash that? That went terribly.
I feel like Pastor Roshka is probably really snarky and been like been there, done that.
Yeah. So
the world ended.
Yeah. No thanks. Yeah. So and then it's immediately as this thing gets torn away in the jaws of an ice jaguar.
Yay, ice jaguar.
For a moment, and you see that this thing is fighting. This thing is struggling. This shadowy thing is struggling in the middle of the room with something.
Throw it in the chest.
And you want to throw it in the chest. And then the lights come up.
Oh boy. We're going to be accidentally going to kill another one.
Well, we don't know.
First one wasn't an accident.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, but this one would be an accident. So, like, we accidentally killing another one, not that we accidentally killed the first one.
So, Vor, what does this look like when the lights come up?
Like I said, I think it's just she puts her hands out. So she had them out already, like around the mayor's head. And then I think she just like rotates them up, holding them kind of level with her head. And then just like 2 points of fire, very bright fire, appear hovering above each of her palms.
The room now is bursting with light. And at this point, the creature, now struggling with Evilise, is like, and this keening, but it doesn't kill it. So you can now, Mac, if you want, you can grab it and throw it in the chest.
Yep.
All right.
You will do so.
Like,
See if you can walk it.
I'm going to briefly now go back into the kitchen. Shandana, what have we been talking to Murder about?
Brunch plans.
Right.
They pointed at arsenic for
That's
some
right.
reason.
So yeah, it's like. It's going to see everything that Murder, all the imagery also that Murder likes to convey is probably conveyed in the manner of Murder's. It's difficult to communicate when you're an anthropomorphic manifestation of a concept. It's you kind of get an impression, as it's kind of from the way that from its body language, right? As though it's like something has changed immediately, and it's like sort of trying to shove more of the arsenic back, and it's sort of this like shaking its head, and it's like just kind of like, oh yeah, it's like, and giving the sort of indication that I think you're going to grasp that it's like, no, that's not happening anymore. The arsenic isn't happening anymore. It's kind of you're starting to pick up this little bit, perhaps intuitively, perhaps through some other means, perhaps because you still have Murder's coin. You're picking up this kind of sign language that Murder is using. It's very murderous sign language. I need to point that out. So for example, the idea for no, or this isn't that is often things like, cutting a throat, that type of symbol. The things directors use for cut. So things like that. So from its body language, as it will sort of convey to you through its gestures, right? You get the idea that the arsenic was going to happen because of the mayor. But now the arsenic's not going to happen. So I am free for brunch tomorrow.
Wow, tomorrow's brunch is going to be even more exciting. We're going to scar the people at this poor restaurant even further.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
It's brunch. What's the worst that could happen?
No. Oh no, we're going to invite Baylock to brunch.
Oh yeah. Oh God, this is going to be awesome. But so it'll so they will kind of like, and so they'll be like, it'll be kind of like, yeah, kind of sort of as though I'm done here. All right. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you for brunch.
And it'll sort of smile and nod and just kind of and then it'll vanish.
We finally successfully arranged a date for Shantano.
And then
Just brunch.
and then the living room bursts into light. And Shantano, you will note that apparently out in the living room is sort of like, and as the living room bursts into light, by the way, we've gone over a little bit, but I swear I'm going to bring things to a close in a moment. As the living room is bursting into light, I think you will note that there is sort of a shuffling that you hear, because there's now more light flooding in here. You hear a little eep and a sort of a shuffling from like around under somewhere inside behind maybe the stove. And so there is something around there.
Can I try and see what it is?
You're examining the stove?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take a moment as you're poking through and looking through it. I'm going to go back into the living room now. So you all have... I'm going to bring us out of combat time because you've now captured one of the Insidious.
Wait. I wasn't expecting a basket to work.
It's not as elegant as a shock gauge, but
For work.
I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I'm surprised.
So, at this point, you've captured this thing. The mayor is like recovering, and is still tied up, but is like sort of looking around. The ice jaguar is now like, still two more, and it's going to prowl. It's going to start hunting the other two down. If you would like them to.
yeah, Mac is going to reload the shotgun and follow.
All right, it's heading toward the kitchen. I'm going to say, Shantano, as you're sort of poking through, there's something moving as you open the oven. There's something moving at the back of the oven that you can't see clearly because the light only goes so far. It does not go all the way into this room.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's probably not wise to reach in there.
Probably not.
No.
I can bring my fire over
Sure. Yeah,
You
do that
certainly
while I
can
reach
if you
into the
like.
oven.
to try to illuminate the whatever this is.
Yeah, can you do that as I'm reaching in?
Yeah. Like lower it down.
So Mac, Mac is coming in with a shotgun.
So you're gonna put a light in an oven, like a flame in the oven?
No, I'm just gonna hold it outside the oven
Okay.
so you can
I
sort of
was gonna
see
say, like,
in it.
the
I'm not
oven
gonna light
was
us all
getting
on fire.
gas.
Yeah.
I thought we were just gonna get blown up or something.
Yeah, in the kitchen. So in the this is like an
And
iron
it's a
stove.
wood stove. Yeah.
It's a wood burning stove. So this is it's like Mac and Vor also have now come in, and along with Evilise have also come in, and Evilise is like see, as you see Shantano trying to reach into the oven. But Vor, you're bringing the fire around.
Yeah, I'll bring this handful of buckets. Two handfuls of fire.
So luckily, as Shantano is reaching in, you see that there's this thing is now like trying desperately to cling to the back corner of the oven because you're bringing light toward it.
Oh. Mac is just going to. I think I got this. He's just going to stick the gun into the oven and fire.
Wow.
Wait, while I'm still reaching in there?
Oh, well, are you going to pull your arm out, or are you just going to try to grab it?
I was gonna try and grab
I
it.
thought you had pulled back and saw the bug in there.
No, I'm Shantano. I would grab it.
You will, or you?
I will, because
Oh, okay.
Of course.
for some
you will.
reason Shantano doesn't understand what risk aversion is.
So Mac is going to be firing.
Well, no, I'm not going to fire if he's reaching
Oh,
in.
okay. All right.
I thought he wasn't reaching it. My bad.
So
Sorry.
Shantano's going to reach forward and grab this thing with. Do you have gloves or anything, or are you grabbing this thing with your bare hand?
Oh no, I don't have gloves.
Okay. It's panicking right now. You can sense that immediately as you pick it up, and you sort of hear that it's trying desperately to suggest to you that to protect it.
I have this ability that I don't know if I can use. As I'm grabbing it, would it be possible for me to use Drain Magic on it?
Ooh. What's Drain Magic do?
Because I have that one too.
That's the thing. I don't know. I can't
Drain
find any
magic says
information on it.
we steal sorcery from another Visley.
Oh.
I don't think it works on non-Visley. Or does it? I don't know.
Is that a spell?
It's an apostate spell.
An
Or an
apostate
apostate ability.
It's an ability. It's not a spell.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just an ability.
Interesting. We could attempt an adaptation of it. Let me take a look.
That way I couldn't find it just because
Is that
The only thing it says in the book is we steal sorcery from another Visley. With a touch, we take 2 sorcery from the Visley.
Oh, I see. Yeah, if you want to try to drain it of its ability, it's not going to work exactly the same. It's going to be kind of like a different spell. But yeah, you could do something if you want to try to do something. Does the apostate ability have a level of any kind associated with it? As I recall, those are very much piecemeal.
There's just a list of abilities you can pick from, and it costs 1 crux to get an ability,
Okay.
or sometimes you can take the ability more than once, but
right.
there's no levels or anything.
All right, so yeah, I presume this is just more of you're trying to affect the Insidious, so it would be the Insidious's level. Now, here's the thing. The Insidious is level 6. It has +3 to resist ordinarily, so this would ordinarily be a 9. The thing is, because of various circumstances right now, because it's in a room flooded with light. And other things perhaps are happening. Yeah, I'm gonna actually call this a 5.
Okay.
Or better. And it's up to you if you want to spend anything to use magic or anything like that.
Yeah, so 5. Would magical lore help with this?
Well, yeah, you're doing something magical, so I mean, this is going to be a magical thing.
I can use magical lore.
Magical lore? Yeah, you've been using that as well, so yeah, you're adapting that, so yeah, totally. So that's going to bring it down to a 4.
No, I'm going to try with the 4.
All right.
I'm fine with the 4.
And if you want this to be a magical effect, you basically can just spend like a sorcery, and you can have 2 dice if you want. It's up to you.
2 dice.
Yeah. You got it.
Hey.
So here's what kind of I think it's a little weird because you're trying to extract Bene out of it, which it doesn't have exactly in the same way, sorcery Bene, but you're gonna get a little bit. So 1 or 2 sorcery Bene probably you can get out of this thing net. But it's like it freezes. It's kind of paralyzed right now. So you've got another one that's not moving.
Like, oh, is this what we've been searching for? Looks like the one that was pinned to the wall.
You can take 2 back.
True, they only had a minimum, not a maximum.
Yeah, maybe this gets us, I don't know, bonus points.
Maybe they'll give us one of the mushrooms.
Somehow don't think so, but we can ask.
I mean, I'd love to come back with more than they asked for, because maybe we can use it as leverage.
And you hear from the living room, you hear, excuse me, could someone please untie me?
Oh, I'm gonna just like snap my fingers and the ropes disappear. And I'm gonna like call through the door like, sorry.
And
was the mayor suspended? So would she just fall unceremoniously to the floor?
It doesn't say anything about suspended. It just says they're tied up.
Yeah, it's tied up, but there's a little bit of a jerk. And I think also as we have the as Evilise starts bounding around, probably starts bounding up the stairs in search of the third one. I think that's where we're going to bring this to a close. If we are good with that, as we are, we've gone a little past. So, but was there anything else we wanted to make sure of before we close this evening?
I'm good.
All right. So you have. So yes, basically, so that happens, and the things are sorted out in this house. There is perhaps a third one lurking upstairs somewhere, but mostly what you're hearing is a lot of dashing around and things getting knocked over upstairs. You hear a lot of psychic barking, and I think between Niles and Evilise, they'll probably corner the third one or do something to it. So it's no longer an issue, but we will deal with that, I think, next time. But yes, let us go ahead and go through our various things here, so that we may figure out if anyone got any joy or despair today. We're going to go ahead and go through our standard order to get that. So we're going to start with Shantano. So Wilde, do you think Shantano got any joy or despair today?
Yeah, she can give him some joy for having set up a official brunch with murder. And has used a good number of abilities.
Yes. Yeah. You've got a brunch date. That's great. And Arras, do you think that Aroshka got any joy or despair today?
I kind of feel like Aroshka doesn't love when interactions with past Aroshka happen, so I kind of feel like maybe a teensy bit of despair.
I can feel there's sufficient despair there, yes. And Anino, did Mac get a joy or despair today, do we think?
I think that Mac got a joy because he was able to utilize his spirit and his familiar skills pretty effectively.
Yeah, absolutely. And Danielle, do we think Vor got a joy or a despair today?
Similar to Mac and also to Shantanu, I think Vor is going to be taking a joy because this actually went remarkably well, and Vor got to use magic more in this session than I think she's gotten to use it at least since the fight that we had on the train with Church of Midnight. So yeah, she's pretty pleased, and she's also pretty pleased that after like horrendously botching the idea theft a couple sessions ago, she's now redeemed herself by doing it correctly this time.
Excellent. Awesome. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do our outros. Feel free to tell folks where they can find you and plug whatever you like. And give us any final thoughts you have about this session, favorite moments, or what have you. And we go for this in reverse order, so we shall start once again with Danielle.
Hi everyone, I'm Danielle. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at RyRackandTor. You can also find me tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on twitch.tv/Scott's Case Files, which will be the finale of Season 1 of our Dune House Guild Run campaign. We are playing Modiphius's new 2D20 Dune Adventures in the Imperium system. It is the season finale, so expect big things. We are currently under a false flag Harkonnen attack. This can only go well. So you should come join us for that tomorrow.
Excellent. And now over to Anino.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino4K. I don't really have anything till next Thursday. It's another episode of Sentinels, followed by Saturday. It's a episode of Scions at 1, and then again this show at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Honestly thought that today's show was pretty funny in that we did a home invasion, but Shantanu set a date with death or murder while everyone else was dealing with the bugs and a mind-controlled mayor. I think that's just how it goes.
You were tasked with distracting, so.
Oh no, I'm not worried. I just think it was really amusing that, on top of everything that happened, we have a sixth member joining us for brunch.
Oh yeah.
Finally got a date for Shantanu.
This campaign ends with Murder permanently joining our crew as a member of the.
Oh no.
Hey, maybe every time we show up, the first thing people will say won't be, "Oh my God, it's you," and Aroshka. "Oh my God, it's you!" and Murder.
The only way that could happen. You have someone with you who's your designated murderous friend. I'm sorry, I forgot. Danielle, did you have any final thoughts about the session?
This is, I think, the most action-packed session we've had in a while, which is kind of an interesting change of pace as opposed to us, running around avoiding the plot and just eating food. But again, I said this before, but it went remarkably well. I kept expecting for the other shoe to drop, and nothing too terrible occurred. So I'm sure the shoe will drop next session.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Things are.
Despite the cards not being at all in our favor.
Yeah. I mean, they tried to get you, but you were resourceful. But now let us head over to Arras.
Hello, I'm Arras. I'm Animus Panthera or Animus.Panthera practically everywhere on the internet, but I'm mostly active on Twitter. I love to chat about cosplay gaming. I'm also a real life zoologist, so feel free to ask me animal questions. The only place you can find me playing games on the internet right now is right here on Saturdays playing Visible Sun. Yay! And then plugging things really quick, we're still taking pitches over at Black Violet Productions. So if you have an idea for a podcast that you'd like to get off the ground, send me an email or a DM or something like that with a basic overview of your idea. As for thoughts of this game, yeah, this was like a really exciting session. Also, I'm extremely delighted that Shantano finally has a date and we get to witness it. Yes. Even better.
The brunch is just going to be the two of them and then the rest of us being like this.
The best part is I don't think any of us know, like, right? Because we weren't present for that discussion. So we're just going to show up in the morning and like, oh, hey, Murder, why are you here? Oh.
That's going to be great. Awesome. And finally, over to Wilde.
Yes, hello, I'm Wilde at Wilde Engineer on Twitch and Twitter. Aside from here, you can find me tomorrow on Eva Serit's channel for what will be our final episode of Bison. Yeah, so that should be fun. Today was a lot of fun. I got to just sit about and pal around while everyone else did all the hard work, and I just reached into the oven and said, oh, hey, cool, look what I found.
That went remarkably well.
That was great.
Job well done.
Absolutely. Okay, so yeah. Who am I? I have no idea who I am. I'm Jim. I am OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I have links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and various other things. Let's see, what do we have happening? So on this channel on Tuesday evening, we have our Urban Shadows campaign, which is nearing its end. Lex Talionis, set in present-day Rome, Italy. And they're at the Versace Gala, and terrible things are happening. Let's see, what else? So we finished our Wednesday campaign, so the next thing is just back around to Saturdays when we have more of this. So we will continue and see what else is happening in Yestervale, one way or another. Also trying to work in some more side sessions, so we'll see how that goes as we progress further on. But let us see, as we stare off into the abyss here. So we're going to go ahead and at the end card, I'm going to send a raid over to... Who shall I send a raid over to? So Quests and Chaos is playing Call of Cthulhu Down Darker Trails, so that is the Western Call of Cthulhu. And so I think we're going to go over there and say hi to them, probably. Feel free to hang on if you are so inclined and say hi to them with us. That again will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will catch you next time. Farewell.